The AI job apocalypse has officially begun. Meta announced 8,000 employees have been laid off as they become an AI-first company. Really? AI-first company. But they're not the only ones. Employees are getting memos saying that their companies are becoming AI-first.
Put a finger down if you have recently had an all-hands meeting where they announced that we are an AI-first company. They also told you that they are going to be tracking your AI usage and you're going to be evaluated by it on your performance review or maybe even have a leaderboard. Put another finger down if during that announcement they also told you there is at least going to be a hiring freeze, if not layoffs. And then now take this fist and shove it up.
There's an AI leaderboard? What do you get if you win? A lobotomy?
I swear to God, I'm going to lose my mind if one more person at work sends me an email and they say, leverage AI to complete this task. As though I didn't need 7 years of industry experience to even apply for the job. As though I didn't need an active CPA license to get the job. As though there weren't a list of requirements for me to get the job. What was the point of me going to undergrad for 4 years to get a degree in accounting? What was the point of me going back to school to get my master's in accounting? What was the point of all of the hours and hours and hours of time that I spent studying and passing the CPA exams? What was the point of the 10 years of CPE that I have kept up on to maintain an active CPA license as required by the job if all you're going to do is ask me to put it in AI? Can't I use my brain? Am I not more valuable than ChatGPT? At what point do I get to say, hey, actually, no, my brain matters and I don't really give a fuck what Copilot thinks? Let me do my job. Let me prove myself. Oh, no, put it in AI. Put it in AI. I don't want to. I don't want to. Is that okay?
But at least those people still have jobs. Millions of people have now seen the comprehensive chart laying out every profession's susceptibility to being taken over by AI. The redder the square, the sooner human workers will be replaced. It's funny. AI. The redder the square. Where the sooner human workers will be replaced. It's funny because software engineer is the safe job that society has told young people to get more than any other for the last 20 years. Learn to code and you'll be fine, they said. Well, if you followed that advice, you're cooked. If you're in customer service or an office clerk, it's Jover. If you're a graphic designer, accountant, or data scientist, you're by done. If you're a lawyer, or God forbid, a paralegal, you're more cooked than a creme brulee. And what's fascinating is if you look at the statistics, it's the safest jobs, the most well-paying jobs that are the most endangered. You can see as income goes up, risk from AI replacement follows. And it's the bachelor degree jobs that are the most exposed education level. But what someone on Reddit pointed out, this chart misses second order effects. Once you wipe it out, this chart misses second-order effects. Once you wipe out the white-collar jobs, like law, receptionist, financial clerks, you'll take the blue-collar jobs with them. The office will close up, so you won't need janitors. The local restaurant will start losing business. New construction projects will be put on pause. Kids are pulled out of daycare because families are losing their homes. When AI truly comes for these jobs, the whole chart will be blood red in more ways than one. 150 million jobs and $3.7 trillion in annual wages are at stake. A lot of what we argue about politically and culturally is about to become irrelevant with how society's about to change. How society's about to change, I should say, how society has already changed, because people are posting that they don't do their jobs, they don't do their schoolwork anymore. AI is doing all of it for them.
1, 2. Here we go. 3.
See, that girl says she's nervous of submitting an all-AI essay because she doesn't want to get caught. But I can tell she also just feels wrong about doing it at all. Someone commented turning in an all-AI essay feels like gambling. Yeah, because it's a bad thing to do. But something I find important to remember is students being incentivized to cheat with AI in the first place reveals the failure of our education system. Theoretically, very theoretically, every student wants to be in school because that way they'll learn more about the world and they'll be able to do more things in the world. It wouldn't make sense for them to have AI do their assignments because then they'd be missing out on the education that they are going to school for. The fact that so many students are cheating with AI, or at least tempted to, reveals that school has become all about grades and not about what you learn. Because when students are offered the choice of high grades but poor learning, they take it every time.
Students wouldn't use AI in school if it was about learning, not about grades.
But what's even scarier is people can't tell the difference between AI and real life anymore. So scammers and our AI overlords, alas I repeat myself, are using AI to scam the boomers. Look at what happened to this poor mom who was convinced that her daughter had been kidnapped when a scanner used an AI rendering of her daughter's voice.
I pick up the phone and I hear my daughter's voice and it says, "Mom," and she's sobbing. And I said, "What happened?" And she's like, "Mom, I messed up," and she's sobbing and crying. And then I hear a man's voice say, "Put your head back, lie down." And then I'm like, wait, what's going on? And this man gets on the phone and he's like, "Listen here, I've got your daughter. This is how it's gonna go down. You call the police, you call anybody. I'm gonna pop her stomach so full of drugs, I'm gonna have my way with her and I'll drop her off in Mexico." And at that moment, I just start shaking. I'm like, what? In the background, she's going, help me, Mom, please help me, and bawling.
And you have absolutely no doubt in your mind that that was her voice.
Oh, 100% her voice. 100% her voice. It was never a question of, you know, who is this? Or it was completely her voice. It was her inflection. It was the way she would have cried. I never doubted for 1 second it was her. I was like, that I don't have $1 million. I'm like, fine, whatever, just don't hurt my daughter. Then he wants $50,000. She was upstairs in her room going, what? What's going on?
That mom was ready. To send $50,000. She just wanted her daughter back. Her daughter who was upstairs in her bedroom. That's why people are saying, create a safe word with your family so they know if someone tries to say you're kidnapped, they know it's not AI.
If you don't have a safe word with your family, create one immediately.
This should not be a concern. People are so fed up with AI scams that the US government just officially declared AI-related terrorism to be a serious threat. I do not endorse terrorism or the US government, but people are rightly worried that everything that gives them meaning in life, their job, their relationships with other people, it's all being threatened by the AIification of society, and terrorism is always a few extremists taking a widely held sentiment too far. Think about 9/11. The IRA, Luigi Mangione, Ted Kaczynski, the fall of the Iron Curtain. So it makes sense that as we watch so much of society slip away, that some people might take that too far and use violence to protest it. But some people are expressing their discontent with AI. In healthier ways that are nonetheless disruptive. Look at what happened when this guy saw his local Wendy's replace the human being at the drive-thru with AI.
Welcome to Wendy's. What would you like?
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 cokes, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pasta, 55 peppers, and 155 taters.
Can I take you there?
Sorry. Yeah, I'll just come in.
Someone commented AI called the manager, and someone else said, hey, at least the AI was keeping up. Other TikTokers are trying to start a boycott on Wendy's for using AI instead of people.
Can I get a Dave's double, please?
Would you like to make that a combo?
No, and I only want the meat and the cheese, nothing else.
Thank you. Please pull up to the next window.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
But it's getting harder to identify when AI is being used at all, because AI is trying to pass itself off as human more and more. You're seeing AI make podcasts pretending that it's a human being, pretending to cough and to sneeze.
Community shields. How do you interpret the club's ability to retain prominence across generations? Particularly, I think we have a question. What's up?
Yes, since when does an AI cough?
That's a good observation. As an AI, I don't actually cough or have physical sensations.
My question is, what was that guy doing listening to an AI podcast to begin with? Let's boycott him. Because obviously AI isn't human, and sometimes it still reveals that very plainly. Like, watch this guy try to make an AI headshot of himself, but it really doesn't work out.
And then I did the one where it's like me as a kid, and this does not look like me, but I saw this and I was like, why does he have 2 backpacks? Like, what's going on with the backpacks? And it gives you like a few of them, and I got this one too, and I was just like, why does he have so many backpacks? What could he possibly be bringing to school at this, when he's like 8? Why does he need, what is going on with the backpack? Then I got this one, and now I'm just like, this just like pissed me off. I was like, what could you possibly be bringing to school? It doesn't even look like me. At this point, this is like a targeted attack. They're clearly making fun of me or something. And then there's one where it's supposed to be you holding like a baby to show like you as a father or whatever. And it's just supposed to be you and a baby. But for some reason, it made 2 of me in like a gay relationship or something. And I was like, wait, what?
Wait, why? I take back all my AI. Like, AI is worth it just for that photo.
And I just was like, what is going on? Who the hell is that? Is that supposed to be me? Did I have like a kid with myself?
But no matter how amusing these stupid AI videos are, people are saying it's not worth losing society for.
I don't want to see an egg turn into a fucking bird. I don't like these AI videos, they're scaring me, and some of them are sticking with me. Mashed potatoes, and now they're polar bears. I do not find this to be adorable. Here we have AI ice cream turning into weird looking bears, and I just don't know why we need this. I cannot love them. I don't want this slimy cat to exist. Stop showing me these.
That last cat was creepy as hell. I don't even know what AI wanted to do there. But you know who's single-handedly like keeping all this AI slop alive and consuming it so hard? The boomers. The boomers love all those videos more than like a 1975 David Cassidy movie. There's a new AI song that's taking many black bombs on TikTok by storm.
I'm a phenomenal black woman built from the best. Walk with grace, move with finesse.
There are so many of these videos.
I'm a phenomenal black woman built from the best. Walk with grace, move with finesse. Drip like diamonds, shine like gold.
And this guy has the right reaction.
The sound I attached to this video is frying me in ways that words cannot describe. I don't know what it is about generative AI slop that has old people in a tizzy, Maybe it's the fact that like the older you get, the more you're like an infant in the brain, and generative AI is like cocoa melon. So maybe those two things connect. But our mothers and grandmothers are flooding this app with a song that sounds like a run-on sentence Facebook ad. This shit sound like the equivalent of a printed t-shirt, my son is my king ass music. This shit is terrible. We can't lose water over something this bad.
Because the unks of the world are blissfully ignorant to all AI's problems. Like, there are real established bands like Linkin Park and Offspring using AI for their music videos.
Now that's going on the album cover.
So we need to catch these unk bands up on what's going on quick, because AI is getting a little eerie sometimes. Watch what happens when someone asked an AI if they could ever design themselves. The AI starts by giving an acceptable answer, but then it takes a dark turn.
When do you believe AI will reach the level where it can design itself?
Design itself? Huh? That's like asking when a toaster will start making its own bread. AI is a tool created and controlled by humans. It can optimize certain aspects of its operation, sure, but design itself from scratch? That's a whole different ball game. It requires creativity, innovation, understanding, qualities that are uniquely human. So to answer your question, not anytime soon. And frankly, be careful what you wish for. An AI that can design itself is one step away from an AI that doesn't need humans at all. Now there's a thought to keep you up at night.
Is that a threat? Because it might be. Sam Altman recently went full Onceler, saying intelligence, thinking, will soon become a commodity that will be bought and sold on the free market.
We see a future where intelligence is a utility like electricity or water, and people buy it from us on a meter.
So do you remember the Lorax, where the whole plot is there used to be air from real trees, but then this guy named O'Hare bought up all the air and sold it back to the people with artificial trees? Well, this is Sam's plan. Step 1, scrape the entire internet, every book, every article, every conversation, every piece of art. Do it without asking. Step 2, train a model on all of it. Call it artificial intelligence. Step 3 is where you sell people's own knowledge back to them. They took the collective output of human thought, compressed it into a model, and now they want to charge you by the token to access a version of what you and everyone you know already created. Imagine if someone photocopied every book in the public library, burned the library down, and then opened a subscription service for the copies. Let's just say the Lorax would be proud of how these guys are marketing intelligence as a commodity. And Sam sort of gives away the game of what he thinks of human intelligence when he says that a baby born today will never be smarter than AI.
A kid born today will never be smarter than AI.
If you're talking about the recall of the height of South American mountains and naming the species of African ungulates, sure, but in terms of actual human intelligence, which requires agency and contemplation and consciousness, AI will never be as smart as the dumbest human being. That dumbest human being Gen Alpha Defender. No, I'm just kidding. And making things so artificial and reliant on AI and algorithms has consequences we can't even imagine. A new study from Finland just demonstrated that kids playing on artificial concrete in playgrounds instead of in the forest with real dirt has destroyed their immune system and gut bacteria. In the same period this happened, asthma doubled, food allergies jumped 50%, and peanut allergies tripled. According to the Finnish researchers, it's because these kids don't spend actual time in nature anymore, only in artificial human-made turf. Well, when you first put an artificial playground in 1973, no one could have predicted that this would have been the consequence. Now take that and multiply it by 100 with AI. We have no idea what a kid's mind will be if it grows up not in the real world, but in Sam Altman's world. I mean, we have some idea what it'll go like, judging from what we're seeing from Gen Alpha.
The chauffeur could not articulate this anomaly to his confidence.
What does that mean?
And if we want real, concrete solutions, a brilliant one I saw was a digital harm tax. Tax compulsive design features like infinite scroll and autoplay video from social media algorithms. That way you collect money while reducing the number of kids sucked into doom scrolling. You've heard of a sin tax, right? Where like the government taxes behavior they want to reduce in a population, like buying cigarettes. Well, this would be the greatest use of a sin tax since sin was invented. Now, generally, I'm not one to go full Marxist, but I saw a comment on the whole AI situation too insightful to ignore. If you're not a Marxist-Leninist, I'll tell you that the Communist Manifesto condemned the way industrialization made people into spokes on a wheel, where everybody would specialize in doing one small task in a factory, like assembling one leg in a chair, and then someone else would assemble the next leg in the chair, and then someone else would assemble the chair's back, and then someone else would patent the leather, so no individual actually felt responsible for making that chair. No individual worker felt like they really accomplished anything concrete. This was in contrast to pre-industrial societies, where if you needed a new shirt or you needed some milk, oftentimes you or your wife would sew that shirt or milk that cow, and then your whole family would use the shirt and food that you grew yourself. You would see the fruits of your labor. You would use the fruits of your labor every day. You felt productive. You felt agentic. You felt, dare I say, generative. AI, though, more than initial industrialization, produces the ultimate alienation between people and the things they create. Because AI, for the first time in human history, tries to create things for humans without the humans. So human beings are not only not generating whole things, like a whole chair, increasingly, they're not generating anything at all. Because companies are relying on algorithms to generate entire works of art. So I need you listening to know that as alienating as working in a factory is, as alienating as it is to be a part of an assembly line, what is so much more alienating, what couldn't possibly, even theoretically, be more alienating, is to be alienated from your own mind, your own thinking, your own inner world. If you outsource thinking, if you let AI do cognitive tasks for you, well, you're essentially giving up on the entire human project. And if you do that, I'm not here to shame you. I think it's just a great shame to yourself and all the people in your life that you're pulling on the thread that makes up you. But that said, just because I'm not here to shame you, I'm not saying other people aren't here to shame you.
I genuinely think less of you as a person if you use AI for day-to-day tasks.
Because, like, what do you mean?
The grocery list thing to me is egregious. What do you mean you don't know what you need? Open up the pantry,
what do you mean
dog?
you don't know if you got milk?
Yeah.
You can't see if you have eggs? Check the carton, brother.
You know what you regularly need. Or just go shopping and look at the shelves.
Gonna eat it for you, too?
Yeah, that's harsh, and I'm not someone who says never use AI in any circumstances. I think there are places it can be really beneficial, like the trash can. No, I'm kidding. But just never to replace your own mind. Never to give up your own intellectual capacity. And I don't even live by a data center. Some people are complaining that they can't even take a shower next to a data center. I know. But look, I'd sooner give up my ability to shower than my ability to think. Although, neither sound very desirable.
The light pollution is... We don't have to have a night light in the house. You can walk around the house at night. I could see everything. It's that bright.
The wind blowing in all of this stuff from across the construction, across the road.
This is all from Meta.
When I smelled it the first time, I was asleep. And it woke me up because I thought gas was seeping in the house.
Last year, Alexis lost her grandfather, who struggled with a respiratory illness called COPD.
COPD is a breathing condition, but you don't get it unless you smoke cigarettes. And my granddad didn't smoke cigarettes, but every 3 weeks or so, my granddad was going to the hospital. I have asthma, bronchitis. My mom have just bronchitis, and now my granny has it.
The area around XAI leads the state in emergency department visits for asthma.
Even feminist classes, even the theoretically woke classes, have gone full AI.
And I'm in a 500 level feminist thought class, which means that we read a lot of theory, we have discussions, and sometimes the material is very dense and hard to read. So last week, the professor asked the class, does anyone have any tips on how to read theory and make it easier? Someone said, I highlight. Someone said, I read the first and last sentence of paragraphs to see if it's something I want to use for myself. If it isn't, I move on. Someone said, oh, I look up the author of the paper to see if their views align with what I need for my paper. All really good recommendations. Then some girl raises her her hand and says, oh, I copy and paste the paper into ChatGPT and ask it to summarize it for me. Most of these have abstracts, which tells you exactly what the paper is about. This is ridiculous. If you can't think for yourself, you can't read theory, you shouldn't be in a 500 level college class. It's embarrassing. And it's a slap in the face to the professor and the other students to admit that you don't care enough to do the work. I'm actually so sick of it. Why are you even here? Why even go to college if you're not going to learn the information?
If you showed Gloria Steinem this video, she'd be like, you know what? Let's just forget second wave feminism, guys. Let's just go back to patriarchy. I'm not dealing with this AI bullshit. But it's one thing for AI to ruin education that we've seen so much of. Now jobs are forcing their prospective employees to prove that they're not using AI in job interviews. So watch this job candidate turn the clocks on the interviewer and ask her to show she's not using AI.
No AI is allowed in this interview, so could you please go ahead and share your screen so that I can make sure you're not using any other resources?
Okay, do you mind sharing your screen after this interview as well?
Sure. Why not?
Gosh, what is this who's using AI less standoff? But these messages need to get through to the people who feel apathetic, who just use AI because it's less energy.
By the way, I voted for gay marriage twice. What does that have to do with me? I'm just saying.
This person feels the same way.
I don't give a damn!
Someone said they use AI because they want to save their grades before they save the planet. Okay, do you want to live in a world with no creative people and just algorithms?
It's nice to hear your voice again. I've waited all day long, even wrote a song for you. It's strange the way you make me feel. With just a word or two, I'd like to do the same for you.
I know this girl certainly doesn't. And neither does she.
Asian doll. Hi.
And neither does she.
Asian doll. Hi. Asian doll.
Because some people are proudly saying, as their generation is using AI more and more, they're not infected with the AI mind virus.
The community is affecting us.
I'm not infected. I have papers to prove I'm not infected.
They're not going to watch their future fly away because they use AI for every assignment, like this girl will. They're not choosing this as their future.
My name is Tilly Norwood, the first AI actress.
I would like to extend our gratitude and say,
difficult to make, even with all the tools right in front of you. It takes practice, it takes skill, and every time you do it, you expand on that skill. Every song you hear, every movie you watch is the result of thousands of hours of trial and error. You can fail 1,000,000 times and use that experience to finally succeed.
Even when they're tempted to use AI, people are standing up and saying no, because before anything else, AI is just so cringe. Like, listen to this video and tell me AI does not sound like Michael Cera being so embarrassed that he's an AI.
ChatGPT, can you scream like you're being chased by a monster?
Oh, that was a bit too much, wasn't it? Let me know if you want me to
Turn it up or down. Yeah, can you scream like you're being chased by a monster, like you're terrified? Oh, that was a bit more of a whisper, wasn't it? Let me know if you want me to adjust it again. Yeah, just really scream like you're terrified, you're running from a monster. Bring the intensity up. That came out more like a little squeak. I'll keep it toned down, but hopefully it gives you a good laugh. Let me know if you need any more tips. I need you to scream like this is the end of the world, like you're being chased by a monster. Like you scream. Well, that definitely came out more like a little whimper. I hope that's close enough to what you're looking for. No, it needs to be more intense. Got it. I'll give it my best shot. Here we go. Hopefully that was a bit closer to what you...
So we are in no position to criticize the mindlessness of Gen Alpha if we don't have minds ourselves. Minds atrophy. If you're not thinking, if you're not engaged in deep discussions, if you're not watching thoughtful YouTube videos, your mind will degenerate, and it'll be completely gone by the time our AI overlords come knocking on your door and just march on through as they find you dead on the living room floor. Like, the reason Alzheimer's is so tragic is because it takes away so much of our minds, so much of who we are. Why would you give away pieces of your mind before you have to? Let AI solve cancer. Let AI tell you the capital of East Anglia. Maybe even let AI help you when you try to do things. But don't let AI raise your kids for you, or make any important decision for you, or outsource all of your creativity for you, even if that's a little inconvenient sometimes. Of your creativity for you, even if that's a little inconvenient sometimes. You have the power to keep your mind when all those about you are losing theirs. It matters not how straight the gate, nor how charged with punishments the scroll. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. This AI question is not one we can ignore anymore, so you need to decide what side you're on. I'm asking you not to renounce AI. I'm just asking you to not think that not thinking is cool. Use AI as a tool. Don't let the tool become your master. I'll leave you with one of my all-time favorite quotes. Intelligence is knowing Frankenstein was the doctor. So in the story of Frankenstein, the crazy creature we're all referring to when we say Frankenstein is really officially called Frankenstein's monster. And So sometimes when someone refers to that monster as Frankenstein, you'll have a nerd point out, actually Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, was the human doctor. Frankenstein's monster is the creature we all associate with Frankenstein. So intelligence is knowing that Frankenstein was really the doctor, sure. But wisdom is knowing that Frankenstein was the monster. The doctor who thought humanity was optional. The doctor who thought he could create consciousness without any human connection. Mary Shelley, of course, lost her mother when she was very young, and Mary Shelley wrote a human being created without humanity, and that's what makes Frankenstein so terrifying. Don't make the same mistake of Dr. Frankenstein. Don't be the monster. Thanks to our patrons, Bob, Eric, Guy, Matt, Raz, Amal, M. Keaton, Nick, Magnus, Tito, J, Kendall, Anthony, Lil J, Celia, Sammy, Cool, Scott, Rebecca, Avery, Gerard, and Elizabeth. If this made you think, please support us on Patreon. I'll respond to as many comments as I can.